Hi, welcome to Give Me the Bible, where God's Word speaks for itself. I want to ask in this video, what kinds of things are we supposed to say in prayer to God? Since we've already determined that prayer is not just some, written out paragraph, reciting this long prayer that we just pray every single time to God, word for word, and we repeat that every night and every morning. Since we've established that that's not what prayer is, that prayer is actually communication to a God that we are in a relationship with, the question then is, well, what am I supposed to say then? How do I pray? And let me suggest that there are several ways that we can learn how to pray better in the Scriptures. But before I point that out, I just want to say, just think of it as a relationship. I mean, think about it if you're dating somebody, or even more strongly, let's just say you're married to someone. Well, I don't see too many married people saying, well, what in the world am I supposed to say to this person? Well, I mean, what can I say? What am I supposed to say? They certainly don't have some, down-packed thing that they just repeat to one another in that marriage relationship, and that's all they ever say to each other. No, it's a give and take. It's a back and forth communication, and so just think of it that way. And the truth is, nobody ever says, well, what am I supposed to say to this person that I married every day? How in the world am I supposed to communicate with them? No, it just comes naturally based on every day's circumstances. Every day is different, right? Your spouse says something or does something, and it strikes up conversation, and so you talk to your spouse about that. Or maybe you had something bad happen to you that day, and so you're in a particularly bad mood, and so you're going to share that with your spouse, and you're going to rely on your spouse to offer you a comforting ear, or maybe you're happy, and everything's just great, and you want to share that joy with your spouse. It's a relationship, and this is how it should work with God. We shouldn't be scratching our heads saying, what in the world am I supposed to say to God, when it's a relationship? And we're supposed to say what's in our hearts and what's really going on in our lives. And I think a really powerful example of that is to see the way that the psalmists prayed. In fact, the whole book of Psalms in the Old Testament are really they're prayers to God, but they're written out in such a way as to be sung as songs. And actually, the Israelites used the Psalms as their songbook for worship, okay, in the Old Testament times. But when you read these, they're all prayers directed to God, okay. For instance, I mean, just go through Psalm chapter 12, right? I'm randomly picking one. Psalm 12. He says in verse 1, Psalm 12, verse 1, Lord, or help, Lord, for the godly man ceases to be, for the faithful disappear from among the sons of men. They speak falsehood to one another. With flattering lips and a double heart they speak. He's just telling God about his frustration that he doesn't seem, when he looks out, he doesn't seem to see faithful people anymore. And he's frustrated by that, and he needs help because he's discouraged. And so he's crying out. And then, he praises God in verse 6. The words of the Lord are pure words, as silver tried in a furnace on the earth, refined 7 times. You, O Lord, will keep them. You will preserve him from this generation forever. The wicked strut about on every side when vileness is exalted among the sons of men. So he praises God for preserving the righteous. You just read psalm after psalm. Some of them are praising God. Some of them are confused and frustrated and asking God, where are you? Why is this happening to me? How can this be happening? And not in a disrespectful, I hate you sort of way. No, it's just this is what's going on with me, God. And they're honest, and they don't hold back. And you know why we should be honest with God? Is because he already knows what we're thinking. And he already knows what's in our hearts. Sometimes I think and I've certainly been guilty of this, I think, I'm feeling kind of sad or I'm frustrated about something, but I don't think I should tell that to God. I think God only really wants me to say positive things to him. He doesn't want to hear my negativity. No, that's just who you are. That's what you're going through. And God says, you cast that care on me because I care for you. This is exactly how Jesus prayed, and this is how prayer becomes totally life-changing and totally transforming and fulfilling and satisfying. Because if we're not real with God in our prayers, we're not going to like praying. We're not going to want to pray to God. But if we really feel like we've got this avenue where we can talk openly with the Lord about what's in our lives, that's a real relationship, and that's what Christianity is about. I hope that that's helpful, and Lord willing, I'll see you next time.